I was thinking about not like talking about anything with politics, but I can't help myself. It would be great if we didn't. Like, what should we do? I really want your advice on this. Should we not talk about politics? I'm just so disgusted by politics in America right now, and specifically Republican politics, but I'm also disgusted at the lack of enthusiasm from the other side. The side of good right now, the side of the people. Like, there's such a lack of like exuberance and also a lack of like fightership. What should we do? Should we talk about other stuff, or should we continue to talk about maggots and No Country for Old Men and Trump as the dope? Or I'm sorry, Trump as the Pope.
Well, I do have some good news. Bernie Sanders introduced Medicare for All again in the Senate, and Pramila Jayapal, along with him, introduced it into the House. So now there's
but they don't have a majority.
Medicare for All bill.
How many times has he introduced it to the House and the Senate?
Yes, but he's going around talking about this. So at the same time that Trump and Republicans are trying to cut Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security, he's introducing an alternative. Like, we don't have to cut it. And if I can only connect to the Wi-Fi, I have this great email from Bernie Sanders with all the statistics, and it's like 68,000 people a year die from lack of medical access. That's like, what, 20 times 9/11? Like, so you're talking about like a 9/11 every few weeks in the U.S., and it would actually save us $650 billion a year to go to Medicare for All, because we would eliminate the ability for drug companies and practices to overcharge. Like, because they're charging more than they need to, so they can get money back, because the insurance companies don't pay out full amounts. They keep money or deny claims. So then you put it on to people. Those people, they'll go into debt or go bankrupt from medical debt, and then
I mean, it's such a no-brainer. Why hasn't any Democratic president? Because Bernie, I believe, was introducing this even in the Clinton administration. Like, and when Biden first came into office, we had the House, we had the Senate. Mm-hmm. Why didn't
Biden
this
said,
get
if
passed
Medicare
before?
for All comes to my desk, I will not sign it.
Why?
He said he would not do it.
Why?
Because he said that he didn't want it. He wasn't going to be a socialist or a communist and support that plan, even though it would literally save. We're talking about almost.
There's some things that you can just unify that have nothing to do with like.
And that's the problem.
Socialism.
People are unified around, and that's why Biden. That's why we got Trump, because he did not give the people anything that they wanted. Like, especially after Luigi, the Medicare for All debate has popped back up and really gained momentum, especially with Bernie going around the country saying, like, you don't have to accept these Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security cuts. We can actually get a system that saves us $650. That would be more than all of those saved. Those saved, Elon says, $150 billion.
But that's just what he says. He's a big
That's what
liar.
he says, and then they gave it to the Pentagon.
But
this
spending
plan would save $650 billion a year from our Federal Reserve budget for supporting.
How would it save that much money? All because of all those superfluous claims.
And it's about
and
like
the
20 or so
and
thousand. Yeah, the per capita amount is 2 times what other countries spend. Like the drug prices, the price of care, billing systems, denials of claims, all of these things come together and cost us a lot more as a society.
Manpower, right? Just managing all that idiocy.
And all of these people to deny, like, thoroughly review, like, you're spending all your money. If you didn't have those teams, you could actually afford to pay out all the claims. Like, you're purposely paying people to avoid having to pay them money, even though they are paying their insurance premiums.
Somebody else is getting the money,
deny
but
care.
the people aren't getting the
Exactly.
care. So
that's why
to
insurance
avoid
companies
paying
are
them,
billions.
they put it this way.
Exactly. Each one of them are worth hundreds of billions of dollars. And where is that profit coming from? It's coming from our government and us, the taxpayers.
Now, what is the incentive for a Republican-controlled House or Senate to do this, despite Trump and his oligarchy only trying to bolster the wallets and the portfolios of billionaires and fossil fuel companies and all of these different organizations that are already just drowning in cash? He's not for the people. How is this going to get passed through a Republican Senate and House?
What I hope is that people, like everyday people, like if you lose your job, you have no health insurance. That's it. Like your job is dependent on health insurance. We've seen tons of layoffs across the government people who lost their health insurance.
And you have to pay out the ass for COBRA.
Yeah.
And that only lasts for like 18 months.
Exactly. And then you're done. And if you want to switch jobs, if you want to go to a different job, whatever, it's like there's a waiting period. Yeah. So people stay in lower paying or not as great accommodating jobs so that they can keep their insurance. And there's people who can't afford insurance at all, or people who are on public insurance programs that is crap coverage. Like if you have Medicare
what is, I mean, I agree with everything you're saying, but why do you think that the Senate, controlled by Republicans who have never wanted any of these things, much less than Democrats have ever pushed, Republicans have been flat out denying it since it came into existence. How do you think this has a shot in hell of getting passed in the Senate or the House?
I really feel bad saying it, but there's probably not.
No chance.
But the thing is,
you just like
need
that
someone continue to push.
He's keeping that same message of, I've always told you this is the best way. Here's this data. If you do this, it's a solid for all of America. And if they don't do it, it's just one more strike for the Trump administration.
It's a little bit of excitement for people, like what all the rest of the world has. Like we don't let your basic coverage doesn't even include like dental or vision, like any of that. So like being able to go and get care, and there's no cost extra, like nothing. We basically
I can see you're excited about
billionaires.
It's the promise.
Are going to pay for all of that. Like
you are
taxes will not go up on us.
You're happy about the promise of a better tomorrow in America.
I could say
because of healthcare that's affordable to people.
Hundreds of dollars a month saved. Prescription drugs would be capped.
And the worry, you don't have that worry of becoming bankrupt if something severe happens.
Like the thought in my mind is always like, should I just go get that job at Starbucks and work an extra 20 hours so I can get?
But then you're miserable the rest of your life.
And also then like
working
I
just
might
for
have
the
to
coverage.
Turn down a gig or something because I have to work for the coverage. So it's like, I don't know.
You'll be trapped.
It's putting you to a rock and a hard place, and it sucks because you need health insurance if anything happens, or if I want to go to the dentist. Like I haven't gotten like a teeth cleaning in years because I don't have dental coverage. I'm not going to pay for that as well. Like I can barely afford the regular health coverage.
I was paying
for vision. Like I think I need glasses. Like things are a little blurry.
Can you have, you used to be able to, I don't know nowadays, but can you have vision and dental insurance without having health insurance?
Yes.
But even that is unaffordable?
Yes.
Right now? Because maybe if you just started with that, so at least you can have like the checkups, get the glasses for discount, get your teeth cleaning twice a year. It's interesting because I have dental insurance, obviously, but I pay extra to have more cleanings because it only covers 2. And they used to charge $60. Well, when I first started doing the extra cleanings, it was $50, then it was $60, then it was $80, then it was $85. Now I went before I had to like watch my budget more stridently. It was 2 months ago when I went, it was $125. So it's interesting now that like it was over the year. It would take like 5 years for something to go up $5 or $10. And now it only takes 5 months and it goes up by like 40%. So welcome to Trump's America, because things are actually escalating to like to a degree that I can't even, like I called the dentist and said, I'm not going to be coming in for those extra cleanings anymore. Love you. But they're like, oh, no problem. We love seeing you, whatever. You know what I mean? But it's like, but I think that's happening across the board in every little faction of people.
With these little extra costs, like, every union, what you negotiate, the main thing you spend your time negotiating on is the health coverage. Like what people are going to have to pay out of pocket, their copays, their premiums, what benefits are covered, how many cleanings they get. All of that has to be negotiated. So you spend all of your time negotiating your healthcare plan for your employees instead of getting them better wages, maybe a 4-day work week, because we have a lot of automation, like in most things. So you could get the same amount of pay and only work 4 days, and you're happier. And seen other countries already, it's like you're more efficient. Because most people are just like busy work, because there's nothing to do. Like you don't always need to be there. You don't always need to be working. There's not enough to do. If we had Medicare for all, that would take it off the table. And then employees who are unionized and get to bargain, automatically you get to spend your time on other things that you want or need.
I mean, just what you're describing, the manpower alone, corporations throughout the United States, the amount of time and investment and resources in manpower that they spend dealing with medical claims and negotiating healthcare policies and dealing with some of the
pharmacy benefit managers, all these weird little things that are just suck money. Like companies are making money off of us struggling to get care. It's evil. It's on our, and that's why the Luigi Mangione thing happened. Yeah. And that's why people don't hate him for what he did, because it's an evil, corrupt system that is literally.
And Brian Thompson would still be alive if it wasn't set up so that he could become a multimillionaire over the people that he had denied claims to. And by the way, he's obviously not the only one and shouldn't be the only villain. There are thousands and thousands of villains in the healthcare and pharmaceutical corporations that are victimizing Americans every day.
68,000 people a year. I wonder how many
68,000 people a year what?
Die from either not being able to go to the doctor at all because they don't have insurance, or they're underinsured.
So it's treatable. 68,000 with totally treatable stuff that don't have coverage die when they shouldn't have.
Exactly.
68,000 lives could be saved immediately, and $650 billion if you went Medicare for all.
Exactly. Because think about it. That's 68,000 people that are no longer paying taxes. That's 68,000 people who have been on workman's comp or whatever disability because you have diabetes, whatever, you can't get treatments, like you can't afford your insulin, so you can't work, or you have a mental health condition, you can't get your medications, you can't be stabilized, you can't work. Like, our society needs people to be involved. And it benefits from that. You work, you get paid, you pay taxes.
Especially now, you got to be involved. You got to rise up. Here's a great illustration of that. So I feel like people are rising up, and people will continue to, because things have gotten so bad that they've had no choice. I think people are seeing that Trump is literally sucking the life out of American democracy in every way he can, coming after judges, not following judges' orders, bucking the system every way he can, and making money for him and his cronies, and trying to establish a Republican leadership in this company where we can't get them out. I think it's really fueling a lot of this like deep movement to like try to change things. But fundamentally, I can't understand why Medicare for all hasn't been something this basic, because my parents, I'm sure, would have been against it. Your parents, who probably would rely on it more than most.
And they were against
it. Like,
then,
these people
now they've have really come around, especially being
though they're trumpets.
Yes, especially being on Medicaid, because they're above 65. Or is it Medicare? I always get confused. Whichever one is for
Medicare. Medicaid is for if you can't really afford. Like, that's the lowest level of Medicare is Medicaid.
Yeah. Okay. So my dad was like, Medicare for all. Why would people want Medicare? Like, I hate my Medicare. Like, it's expensive, and you have to get like the Part D or whatever to cover other things that aren't covered.
You have to pay for extra. Yeah.
It would expand Medicare and Medicaid so that we pay basically nothing. There are almost no out-of-pocket costs. I think the plan is either $0 to $200 of total out-of-pocket costs a year. You don't pay anything anymore.
Even if they did it where it was like $500 a year, I feel like people would still be like, that's great, because then you don't have to worry.
Yeah. But
it's covered for the most part.
Especially for like lower income people, drugs would obviously be cheaper because we can negotiate. Like, we have the legal ability to set prices for these drugs. We just choose not to actually.
But here's my other question. Because of some of what all of these executive orders that Trump is putting through seemingly daily, he's allowing for companies to be able to get away with more, not less. And there's less accountability because of his executive orders. How, and maybe you've already answered this because it's not going to pass the Senate and the House, but like he's not going to give away the power he just gave to big pharmaceutical companies and strip that away by allowing Medicare for all to happen. And because there's not that he has the final say in it, but his cronies are right now running the House and the Senate. They have the majority. Do you think anything of value to hardworking Americans will be passed within the Trump administration?
You know what? Even if it's not passed now, no.
You don't think so?
The Trump administration, until we get at least to the midterms, but I think you have to give people like hope. You have to say, this is what I will do. If you restore us power, this is what, because for Democrats, well, Bernie isn't really a Democrat, he's an independent, but no one's really doing anything. It's like, what
No one's doing anything.
We sent Trump Chuck Schumer said we sent Trump a strongly worded letter and told him to stop disobeying the Constitution. It's like, are you kidding me?
We have no fighters. Jazzy
Bills,
Crockett, Bernie Sanders, AOC, those are the fighters. Cory Booker, like, there's so few and far between. I've really lost faith. That's why I don't want to talk about politics, is because I'm a Democrat, obviously. I've lost faith in Democrats. I feel like they need a reboot big time. Except for those 4 people. And then who was the other one we like? Okay. Jazzy Crockett, Cory Booker, Cory Bush, AOC, who I didn't like before, now I do, and Bernie. Like,
there was someone else. Yes, the one who's called Putin, who said for Trump to stop being Putin's hoe.
That was Jazzy Crockett.
Was that Jasmine Crockett?
Yeah. I also like, he's like a redhead guy from California. I can't remember his name. Like Eric Stilwell. I like him. He's okay. But I get, he doesn't
get in trouble with like,
he doesn't even have
leaking
like,
national secrets because he was targeted by China, and they had like a Chinese informant on his team, was a staffer, and she was secretly getting information and sending it back to
the Democrat?
Yeah.
I don't know. Based on what I'm hearing, what's happening
president too,
in the Trump administration, it's still less. Whatever he did, whatever you're describing, even if that really happened, it would be way less than what's going on the daily with Trump's band of wackadoodles and losers.
Yeah.
It is like literally like I hear something every day where there's this leak or that flub or that gaffe or that stupid, dumb order or something got missed or some law got broken. It's literally happening every day.
Yep.
It's almost like the government is the enemy.
And
under this new administration. I mean, I guess maybe it always has been.
In our immigration ways, but I would say that pulling back, like this, what is it, like dismantling the government and having this oligarchy, that is the real problem, because the government, it's there to protect us.
Protect the people, yeah.
Exactly.
It's okay to dismantle the government, but you can't replace
we have control or say
with an oligarchy.
We get to decide. That's the only thing. Like, we don't get to choose corporations, what they do or how they're run or what, you know.
He's taking the power of the people and giving it to corporations and
exactly
himself.
And billionaires.
That's not how you dismantle democracy. That's not how you dismantle government where democracy wins. That's how you get a dictatorship. Like, that's what he's trying to do. He's not gutting all the fraud and all the waste and all the corruption. He's actually dismantling the government so that he can hide all the fraud and the waste and the corruption and benefit from it.
Exactly.
Same with Melania. Same with all the scumbags that are now in, like, I just cannot believe. Look, here's what's going to happen. As long as we retain the right to vote in the midterms, it's going to be a bloodbath. Guaranteed. Because the economy is going to be that bad by then.
Yep.
It already is. We're about to enter a Republican recession. Any day now, it's going to happen. Any day.
I mean, it's already happening.
It started. It's just not. It's not legit.
A lot
like
of
in the news, like
no, but
we're in a recession.
Are really struggling and looking for other work. Like, people will work as hard as they can, but then at a certain point, when it's no longer possible and you can't afford things, that's when crime rates skyrocket.
Oh yeah,
because you have no choice. Like, what other animal, like lions, they hunt? You know, they don't purposely kill people, but they need food. They do it because it's a survival instinct. Most to the core of us is to stay alive and feed our families, feed ourselves.
No animal except for human beings kill maliciously.
Exactly.
They kill for survival.
Exactly.
That's kind of why I love animals and I'm turned off on humans.
100%.
I totally agree with everything that you're saying, and that doesn't happen very often. But I don't know. The political conversation is still depressing me. It is, sometimes it's cathartic to kind of like hash things out here, but I don't know. I think it's so bleak right now that I kind of don't want to. You know, I mean, I'm sick of hearing like the waste and fraud. It's like, do you ever hear that mantra? Like, whoever smelt it, dealt it. Like, that is the I guess the axiom of the Republican Party. Like, they're the ones who are not the only ones, granted, but they're using this, like, it's like fear mongering, but it's on this like weird other level of like, we're going to root out all the corruption, waste, and fraud. And
that they are the root of all.
They're the root of it. Like, so it's like the more they say it, the more I'm like, dude, you're the cause.
You're the problem.
And like, you're just fucking lying to dim-witted people. Yeah, you're the fucking problem. You smelt it. You fucking beefed it, dude.
And I finally got my internet to work on my computer, at least, so I was able to do the calculation.
Oh, you're on the network now?
Well, just on the computer. My phone still won't connect. I don't know why. I'll try.
So weird. Maybe if you turn your phone off.
Exactly. I'll restart it later. But because obviously we're recording right now. But the statistic is about 7.5 people die every hour, if we count by hour.
Just in America.
Just in America.
Not even in the world.
Of healthcare.
7.5 people die every hour.
Every hour from lack of healthcare.
Look. It just literally gave me goosebumps.
It is like, how do we
so
accept this?
Sad.
And that's why
like,
I think, like, Medicare for all won't fix everything, but we're talking about thousands of people, and we're talking about like lower income people who are struggling, people who just want to get by but can't, dying every hour. Leading
I truly don't understand how we got to this point, but now that we are here, like, I feel like, especially in the midterms, like, but can we wait that long? Can we wait a year and a couple of months to like get to a point?
I think the momentum, I'm hoping that the momentum builds. We give people an alternative. It's like, Bernie's never been like, I'm going to solve everything. It's like, these are the things that will move us to a better place for the American people, because we're the richest country in the history of the world. We have more money than anyone else. We have more military might. So why not give our citizens something, anything? Medicare for all would be a start. We're not getting free college. We're not getting anything. The government doesn't do anything. So
please, Linda McMahon's like, pay up, bitches. Like, what the fuck? They're giving the opposite of free college.
Exactly.
They're actually going after, by all the cuts, by all of like what they're like, this dumb administration is pulling. They're actually going after like hardworking Americans.
Yep.
They're not even like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, they're deporting some people that shouldn't be here, but they're also deporting people that have every right to be here and putting them in prisons.
A child with cancer. It was like a 7-year-old kid and then a 2-year-old baby were both detained by ICE.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
I was like, how do you justify that? And they turned out to be American citizens.
Yeah. Well, no, there's like thousands. Yeah. There's thousands of cases where they flub a deportation. So are they really doing like what they're supposed to be doing? Because guess what? I have a feeling that all the drug dealers and all those people that are still bringing meth in from Mexico, I have a feeling they're still coming in.
It's just to stoke fear amongst people who are of color in general. Like, if you are not a white person, you might just get taken from the street. Like, you don't even have to not be an American citizen. It is.
It's like a no-knock warrant, but in real life, where they could stop you just because of the color of your skin.
Yep.
I mean, it's getting kind of crazy. I was reading an article that law enforcement is saying in cities all across the United States, but particularly in the Midwest, where crime has been going up incrementally every single month since the beginning of the year. And they're saying a lot of it is to do with drugs coming in from Mexico and just crime in general, because people are so unhappy. And it's interesting because regardless of what's happening with the policies of immigration and the new administration and the supposedly like tough on crime, like all of these things that have to do with crime and immigration are becoming worse.
That goes to the point earlier that if you push people to a point, crime rates are going to spike. The Midwest is known for our grains, wheat, corn, all that.
And drugs. There's nothing to do out there. So like, people like
you cut the USAID, which gives farmers you have all of this that you grow, and you took away their immigrants, which all the farms use because
I've stopped reading up on that
stuff. But
there was a farmer that went under the last time I did,
so
which was months ago.
What happens to the employees that he used to have? Like, they're now broke. So what do you do? Like, and you were talking about small rural towns. There's like, it might be the only job in town. So you turn to drugs.
Well, my question for you is that still happening where all these farmers that were like, I'm voting for Trump, but don't touch my people, other people are gone, right? Those farmers are starting to go bankrupt. Is that correct?
That is correct.
It's
USAID is not buying all of the wheat and corn that it used to ship around the world, which it was a great idea. Like, we can fund our farmers, keep smaller farmers in business, even though we don't have the demand for their products in the U.S. And we can also use this like arm of aid around the world to make us look good. You know, like, you're talking about other countries where people don't really like the U.S. We don't have the best We invaded a lot.
Trump
we did
doesn't
a lot of
care
things.
if there's like a goodwill thing.
No,
he's like he's not that kind of guy.
Goodwill, like
I don't think he's a good
treatment,
guy.
it gave
That's
us
the problem.
this halo effect. Like the U.S.
He doesn't
Yeah,
give
they
two
might
shits
be a
about
little
that.
evil and a little controlling sometimes, but
narcissistic. But they sometimes give.
They gave us food and drugs that we don't have access to here.
Yeah. But he's like Trump is probably the last person that's concerned with any kind of a halo effect, unless it's for him.
That's exactly why they boosted the Pentagon's budget. It's like you're using muscle instead of brains.
But they boosted the Pentagon's budget, so that means like for like war and for like military and for
what surveillance of the American people and whatever else that they want to do. Because
so instead of giving the money to the American people, they're going to use all of anything that they garner, they're going to use against the American people.
Yep.
That's what it's feeling and sounding like.
That's what happens
and
when
I think
you dismantle the government.
That's how
it's not there to protect you, and then you have all these companies that like Raytheon and others, Boeing, they get a ton of money from their defense contracts for building weapons for the government.
Wouldn't Alania also through SpaceX?
Yep. Yes. Mm-hmm. They're all benefiting from these transfer of wealth once again. And
as long as we can retain voting, that is critical, because he's trying to make it so much harder. I don't know if the SAVE Act actually got passed. It is like the charlatan act of the century, but all of his are like they use it. They dumb down certain things and they out and out lie about certain things so that people don't really know
100%.
What they're like, what's happening.
That got
passed, right?
The SAVE, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Because it's going to disenfranchise even women voters. It's going to require certain
SAFE Act?
The SAVE Act, which is really more like the let's fuck you in the ass act and not allow you to vote. Because they don't want to be voted out. He wants to stay president, even past what the Constitution allows.
Yeah, because as soon as he's out of office, he's done for forever from being able to be president. And then there's no more presidential protection and all of the lawsuits can resume.
I mean, here's the thing. As long as we can, I've said this before, if we can hold on to voting and just hold on to the midterms, I really do think it's going to be a sweep. I think it's going to be it's not even going to be like close. But then that's when the real fight starts, right? That's when, because now we got to like undo everything that's been done, and we got to put full stop to any ability for that to happen again, which means you have to change laws. Right? You have to make it so that criminals can't run for the presidency or the Senate or whatever. There's certain things like basic common sense stuff that's never been implemented because we think, look, I'm starting to because it's so mind boggling what's happening in politics in America now. But you would think that common sense would dictate, oh yeah, nobody's ever going to vote for a criminal. Nobody's ever going to vote for that person after they sexually harassed this person and did that and beat their wife. But those same people are in all areas of our government on both sides, I will admit, but predominantly in the Republican faction. And in this current administration, they're in the Supreme Court now. There's like, I mean, that's the thing. We really have to come up from like under. It's not like we're starting at zero.
Murky, so we can't see clearly to the bottom. That like we can't see what's really going on at the bottom.
Yeah,
so keep the water murky. That's the same thing with Medicare for all. Like Trump and all of them were like, "Oh, you're not going to be able to choose your doctor anymore. Like it's going to take you forever to get care." And what you're missing out is that no, you will get to go to any doctor you want. You're no longer in some network, and it's like, oh, I've been seeing this doctor forever, and you decided, we're not going to cover them anymore. They're out of your network, so you can't see that doctor anymore.
Do you know now what the doctors are doing as they're joining a special, like, not only, I guess for lack of a better, I don't know the term that they use, but it's not network, but they join, it's actually like a pay to play. You actually have to pay like $1,200 to $5,000 a year to be able to see your doctor.
Yeah.
Do you know about that? So my old doctor, like I wanted to go back to him. This was like when we still had like a vacation home. And he's now part of this network and it's tiered. And they said, oh, it's this, it's that. And I said, well, what am I really getting if I'm paying the $1,250 a year? And it's like, oh, well, you have access to your doctor. I'm like, oh, so like I can text him and do it. Oh no, well, you can send a message. I'm like, well, I can do that now. Is what am I getting for that $1,250 that I wasn't getting like a couple years ago?
Exactly. Yeah, a company I used to work for, PlushCare, did the same exact thing. And they did it because it's like insurance coverage was just so difficult. And sometimes like insurance companies would decide, actually, we're not going to cover you anymore. Like these claims, we don't want to do it anymore. We're just going to switch to Teladoc or whatever. And you're out of network now. So all these patients who was seeing their doctors for years, like their doctors, can no longer see their doctors unless they pay. So it was like another option. And I guess it's convenient, but it's like, this is happening because our system is inconvenient and corrupt. Like companies
They're just trying to bleed you dry.
Exactly.
Like now they want up to $5,000 additional every year to give you all these benefits that you should already have for free. Because you're already paying. It's actually not free because you're already paying your premiums.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So why would you, on top of it, because you still have to pay the premium. It's not like the $5,000.
Oh, yeah.
You still have to pay this is an additional fee. So you pay another $5,000 every year just to have access, just to get the kind of care that you should already have gotten.
Yeah, because most of the ones that are in network, it's like low quality, crappy doctors that the insurance company knows they have a special rate, whatever, low billing prices. So sure, that's where you can go. If you want anywhere else, good luck. That's what I had to do with my psychiatrist. She was hospitalized. She has health issues. And now I have to see someone on Clarity. Like I couldn't find anyone good in my network locally. So I'm an HMO. It's so annoying because now I pay $100 a month to see a doctor, on top of my, almost $300 premium for insurance, and they refuse.
And that's for the most basic coverage, and you're still not getting the care that you need.
No, I have a crappy HMO that's just health, and that's it. Like no dental, no vision,
and you're not getting access to people that can actually help you.
Exactly, you have to pay more for that.
It's like you have shit. It's shit.
And you can request them to cover it, but they're like, is it medically necessary? It is medically necessary, yes. But they're like, sorry, we're not going to reimburse you. They're not.
It's maddening, and then you have to fight for every last.
Yeah, and I would have to go through multiple like claims process, appeals process, and they're going to deny me. So it's like, why waste all that time and energy and fighting them? I'll just figure out, I don't know, pay it out of pocket, go broke, lose my home. I don't know.
No, it's horrible, but no, I mean you have to laugh at it because it's so
literally,
big, right?
it's like it's so insane. And
I can't believe it's
so
like that in this
different
country.
From everywhere else in the world.
I mean, some places are terrible. Let's face it. The world is full of countries that are doing things that are more forward thinking and for the people. Throughout Europe, there are other places in third world countries that are just as bad as the United States. But the problem is that
we're talking about like third world countries.
We are no better than South America or Mexico or, the Far East. That's the problem. Why can't we be the best? Why can't we have all of our citizens covered by some kind of national health care?
I will get the statistic, but I've seen like a list before, and it's like countries you would be like, oh, they don't have money, like they have universal health care for all this. It's just a basic human right. Like you don't just let your citizens die because they can't afford, but we do in America. The countries, I want to say that I looked this statistic up, in the countries you would not expect, developing countries that have universal health care: Burkina Faso, tiny island; Chile, Romania.
I never even heard of it.
I know. Tunisia.
I know Tunisia. Burkina Faso is
Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso. Where is it?
I have no idea.
Okay, but anyway, they have Medicare for all.
They have Medicare for all. Botswana, Azerbaijan, Bhutan, Brazil, Bangladesh, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Peru, Thailand, Turkey, Vietnam, Cuba, Mexico, Ukraine, and South Korea. South Korea is not really a developing country anymore. They're developed.
Are you kidding?
Yes.
Okay. So
those are just a short list of some of the developing countries that have universal health care. Because it's a basic human right.
I wasn't expecting that. Okay. So
it is actually crazy.
I will say that, and it breaks my heart.
I feel like if people got it for a month, we'd be like, okay, I'm never going back. Like, why didn't we always have this? This just makes so much sense. I
think if the whole nation, because right now I think the whole nation has an illness.
Yes.
And everybody's going down, and it's going to get, it's like an alcoholic. You're going to reach rock bottom, and I think that's going to happen. And then the midterms, and then it's going to be high times again, but it's going to be hard work, and it's going to be a huge fight. We need fighters, and I think it will happen. But I think right now, the problem is that the country is sick. It's not going to always be this way. And I'm finding a lot of inspiration from what you're saying.
Yeah,
but it's not going to happen overnight. That's the problem.
But the people like Bernie and Pramila Jayapal who are proposing this are giving people, like, saying you deserve, as an American citizen, our government should be taking care of your health insurance. That is, healthy society is a better
Our government should be taking care of its
society.
people. And right now our government is serving itself more than ever under Vladimir
Exactly. And
Trump.
what would happen if no one pushed for anything? Like, no, it was just like, oh, it's never going to change. No one's going to buy into this. Then nothing would change.
How come we're fucking stressed out about this? Isn't this the job of the government? Like,
yes.
That's why they get paid all this money and they have everything paid for them by us, the taxpayers, so that they stress about this. Like right now, my stomach is churning because you've given me a lot of information that is like, it's got my mind going. It's got my stress level heightened because it's like, these things should be happening. And it would help so many people and things are becoming worse and not better. And I'm feeling...
Health insurance companies are some of the biggest spending lobbyists in our country.
Billions and billions. All that could go right into the pocket.
Exactly.
You could send out $500 stimulus checks with all that money if you wiped all that out.
But
you could probably send $5,000.
Like, I don't have to worry. I'm getting free whatever, or a private plane from the insurance company who's
100%.
boosting my campaign.
So right.
It's like they have no incentive to do anything. But if you piss people off enough and they
vote them out, that's the only. That's why it's so important to vote. Anybody who doesn't vote can suck my cock for real. Like, especially now. Look what happened.
Look exactly
where we're at, dude. Like, this is so messed up.
We're talking about what, like 100 million people voted. We have over 300 million people, and I think it's
I think it's 450. 450
and I think it's like almost 200 million people who are eligible to vote. So you had like half the eligible voting population that elected this president. So if you're not involved,
and if you're not voting with your own mind, like there was, I think I don't know if I discussed it on the podcast, but there was like, I was reading how like this guy was like, wrote into Fox News and saying like, I convinced my entire family to vote for you. And now this is happening. And like, I'm not down with this. And it's basically like a disenfranchised Republican, but like, what wife, listen, if you're somebody's wife and you don't believe in what's happening right now in the country, don't vote the way your husband votes.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Like, fucking stand on your own and vote.
What was it you were telling me? You were like, it totally turned you off. It was
Love is Blind?
Yes.
What a tool.
Yeah. It was like, oh, he didn't vote.
And the girl was kind of like, she still ended up going, like, I don't want to, no spoilers on this. Like, I still watched, and
We're not using names.
I could not stand this guy, even from the beginning. Like, he seemed kind of shifty, and he wasn't that hot. Like, he was a good looking guy, but he wasn't that hot certainly not to put up with that kind of a personality. He just seemed like a selfish prick.
He didn't vote.
It's selfish. He seemed like he was totally, like, into himself and didn't care. Somebody who doesn't vote doesn't give two fucks about their neighbor.
Exactly.
Sorry.
It's incredibly selfish because you're not just voting for yourself, you're voting for your entire country.
I think I would laugh, but she was like kind of cool about it, but like was incredulous and kind of like looked at him like turned off, but stayed in the game. I think I would have laughed and literally walked away. Like someone like that doesn't occupy space in my mind.
I would never date someone who's like, oh, I don't vote.
Loser. I think anybody who doesn't vote is a loser, especially now. Okay. Anyways, we got to wrap this up. I don't have a hate inspiration, unfortunately, this week, but my F who is Vladimir Trump for posting a picture of himself as the Pope. Like, dude, are you serious? And as a Catholic, I'm offended and ashamed and disgusted, dude.
I'm totally not surprised.
So lame. Did you see the picture?
I did not.
It's almost like it's a joke. Dude, please pull it up right now.
I saw my favorite one is where he posted with him with like 4 black guys. It was a total AI generated image.
Will you send it to me?
It was so funny. I was like, oh,
why is
it? He was trying to appeal to black voters, and he was like in a video or something, and he has this picture with like 4 black guys, and it's.
But is it just him and 4 black guys, or do they have their arms around each other? Are they laughing?
Like he has his arms around them. Like,
please send that to me, or find it right now. Stat.
I want to.
Who? So, what's your F who?
I would say.
There's too many people.
Like no,
you can't F America right now. We need people to rise up.
What I want to say is
Americans rise up.
F this ideology that we don't deserve better, that we don't deserve more from our government.
We expect them to be so corrupt and so shitty that people aren't even surprised anymore.
Yes, and we've accepted them not even doing the bare minimum anymore. We've accepted them taking everything away from us, which are our only like safety nets, and threatening the one social safety net we do have, Social Security.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, dude, anybody, Republican, Democrat, Indie, Like right now, you better just get ready to vote all these assholes out that are coming for your Social Security. Like that is a deal breaker, and they're not messing around. They really want it. Like they really want to go after.
This is one of them. There were a few of them. This is with him with the doctor.
It says false right on there.
Exactly.
Like
yes.
totally doctored.
Let me see. I might know. And this is the other one. I don't understand why he thought it was a good idea.
Can we post these? Because they're doctored, right?
So we can post them as our cover photo. Yes.
Oh man,
Trump
that is.
I want to see the Trump as Pope one.
I only looked at it for 2 seconds, and I got. So thank you for that, Joy.
Oh my!
You didn't see the Pope photo?
No, I didn't. Oh
That's
my God!
Everywhere.
Oh my God!
He posted that himself on Truth Social, I think. By the way, just a disclaimer.
I'm sure he reposted it.
This is just our opinion. Blah blah blah. Completely fact check us. Do whatever you want, but this is just our shit.
And we live in America. Thank you, America, for having free speech rights.
Thank you, America. Love you.